This is Dennis Michelson. It's time to go down on the farm and tell you about another great product from the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions, the Loveland Products brand. Mr. Scott Lay joining me to tell you all about N-FINITY. You're not putting something out there unless it has a good return on investment, no matter what the pricing is. But when the prices are low, you need more bushels, and I think that's what N-FINITY is going to help folks do.
Dennis, I couldn't have said it better. N-FINITY obviously deals with nitrogen efficiency. And for any farmer, after you say the words nitrogen, you have their attention because in terms of a fertility investment, nitrogen is the largest line item of fertility. And with today's prices, to grow an acre of corn, a farmer is looking at somewhere in the range of $100 to $130 an acre spent on nitrogen. So we created N-FINITY, been working up actually for the last 4 or 5 years, as a means or a biological technology that allows for more efficiency, more naturally occurring forms of nitrogen to be available to that crop so that we're not as dependent on synthetic forms of nitrogen.
We are looking at an environment where the states are going to want to keep regulating more because they don't want that nitrogen runoff. So by using a product like this, you are helping, be a good neighbor on the environmental side. But also, hey, if you lose the nitrogen out the tiles, that nitrogen isn't doing you any good on yield at all.
That's absolutely right. And the way the yardstick, so to speak, we will use to measure the effectiveness in N-FINITY is what are pounds of applied nitrogen per bushel. Whatever ratio that's at today, if a grower is at 1 pound of applied nitrogen per bushel of yield, our objective is to make that more efficient, to lower that pounds of applied in. And we can do that by one of two ways. One, obviously increase yield by providing more natural nitrogen, and or secondly, modestly or responsibly reduce the amount of applied synthetic nitrogen by a modest 5 to 15%. And the combination of those two levers, if you will, is what will deliver better return on investment and a better result environmentally for the farmer.
Now, while this product is new to my listeners this year, it has been tested. Have we found in the testing that this works better with different types of fertilizer programs or just about anything that folks are using out there right now?
That's a great question, Dennis. N-FINITY, we've designed it to be compatible with farmers' real practices. So we're looking at concentrated soil application. So at planting, it could be applied in furrow or 2x2, and or as the season progresses, an in-season side dress or wide drop nitrogen application. N-FINITY can be applied with those products. And I think the big calling card, if you will, as it relates to N-FINITY. Many of the other technologies that have been introduced over the last 3 to 5 years are all focused on one mode of action, and that's affixating atmospheric nitrogen. With N-FINITY, we have 3 modes of action. We affix atmospheric nitrogen, like other technologies. We also liberate organic pools of nitrogen that are found in the soil, which, as organic matter increases, those pools of organic nitrogen available also increase. And then last but not least, there are native nitrogen-fixing microbes in the soil that are in close proximity to that plant's roots. So if we can help recruit those N-fixing microbes into the plant, we provide more biological forms of nitrogen, thus lessening the dependence on synthetic nitrogen.
Whether we're in a pattern where we will see more real wet, real dry periods of time, have we gotten enough of an idea with N-FINITY how it's going to work for those real dry or those real wet conditions? Because nitrogen can be a little bit finicky.
Nitrogen can be very finicky, and it's very weather dependent, as is crop growing in general. But over the last 2 years, where we've had the opportunity to observe this on 344 different field environments, and those are replicated trials as well as split farm trials, the average yield response has been 7.9 bushels an acre. That's very consistent. But I think, moreover, whether you're in eastern Illinois or western Indiana, we have environments that it responds very well there. But also, we've evaluated this in places like North Carolina, Virginia, Kansas, Minnesota, the Dakotas. So, again, across a wide range of growing circumstances, or weather circumstances, rather, and growing environments, and the consistency of the performance, rather, has been very consistent across those range of environments.
Everybody is concerned about the return on investment, trying to make a buck in a very tough time. And what are we seeing for ROI from using N-FINITY in these trials?
Again, it goes without saying, as I look at today's prices, we record this, December corn's at $4.50 a bushel. It will be challenging to make money in corn. That's the obvious, and stating the obvious, frankly. But at an 8-bushel average response with the cost of the product, we're seeing a positive ROI of about 3 to 1. The other, again, as we talked about before, lever to pull, if you will, because this works in concert with nitrogen, the opportunity exists to responsibly reduce the amount of applied nitrogen. So, in a 200-bushel corn environment where 200 pounds of nitrogen may be applied, you can reduce the amount of applied nitrogen by 5 to 15, 20 pounds, so thus lessening the cost outlay for synthetic nitrogen and offsetting some of the cost or investment for N-FINITY. So we think it's a win-win situation for the grower. Again, this will work in a full nitrogen rate regime or a regime where a 5 to 20 pound per acre reduction of nitrogen is employed.
Scott, before I let you go, where can folks find out more information about N-FINITY?
To learn more about N-FINITY, your listeners are welcome to visit their local Nutrien Ag Solutions retail center or click up on their phone, nitrogennaturally.com.